sleep. This is kind of just the ambiance that's in the energy downstairs if you sneak downstairs and look at the tree. That was the most fun. That was the most fun as a kid, was sneaking down there and look. You'd be like, oh, is he here yet? And you knew he wasn't there. It was just like 10:30 at night, the Christmas Eve. And you'd go down there. And my siblings would all, like, we had to come down the stairs and then go like around the edge of the wall, and then you could kind of see the living room and stuff. There was still like like a little dinner table, but then you could see the living room. And yeah, it was just like, is he here? Did he come? And we would all kind of like bottleneck at the bottom of the stairs in our pajamas and shit, and we would be like, no, you're not going. You're not going. And our sisters, they were little, so they were like, fuck, they didn't have any rights or whatever at the time because they were women also. And so we had to, like, you're not going. We'll tell you what we see. And they're like, tell us what you see. And then we'd sneak around. And then once we got around, my brother was older than me, so then he took jurisdiction. But he also had bad eyesight. He was born, I think he didn't have, his levels in his eyes were off. He didn't have enough water in his eyes or something. So he'd have to he'd have to splash water in his fucking eyes every 40 minutes so he could even get a gander at anything. Shit, I remember at his birthday, he'd miss the candles if he'd rub a little bit of water in his eyes just to kind of, sometimes if you heat up some leftovers, I'll drip a little water on them. That's me. I'll crack open a leftover if it's in a container. I'll pour, about a 1/11 of a cup of water on that. Whatever. I don't care what it is. Lasagna, piece of bread, whatever, focaccia, whatever's going on. Hint of spice, hint of tomato. I'll just drip that bitch out and then put it in the micro and bam. But that was like my brother. If we didn't, if mom didn't spray a little bit of water in his eyes right before he blew out the candles on his birthday cake, he'd miss that bitch. He'd just be spraying just be spraying a cold right out into the distance, miss the whole cake. But anyway, so at that point, my brother would be like, and once we turned the corner of the stairs, it was me and him. So my sisters were like at the back and they didn't know shit. And they only knew what we told them, and we lied to them because we were family. And so we would go and have to get closer to the tree and sneak up. And my mom's bedroom was right off of the living room. And so we had to be quiet. And the carpet was kind of wet because our apartment was sinking a little bit, like by the kitchen area. And so your knees would start getting all wet, But it helped my brother because he could just put his hands into the carpet and then rub them into his eyes and activate those bitches. So we would get closer and we'd be like, is he here? Is he here? And then we would see the tree and the lights, and it would just kind of look like it had during the daytime a little bit. Like definitely more mysterious and nighttimey, and the stockings. And it was all just kind of magical. It was just like a thing of like possibility, What were we going to get? What was going to happen? Tomorrow, everything was going to be great. Something new was coming, It was just, there was just, I don't know. There was just something just so magical about that scenario. And I remember we had the colored lights on the Christmas tree, and I didn't really like them. They looked a little cheesy, I thought, sometimes. But at this time at night, it just looked kind of nice. And the stockings just hanging there. And he'd be like, we'd have to just, go back. My brother would be like, go back, you little f***ing or whatever. And I'm like, what? And we get back to the stairs. And my sisters would be like, what did you see? And we'd be like, fuck you. You don't know shit. Because, that's the kind of family we were. And, but there was just something beautiful about it. But no, we'd be like, he's not here. Or sometimes we would do this. Yes, all the gifts are out there. He already came, but you guys have to go to bed. We would kind of take this superior role with a lie. He'd be like, he already came, but you guys have to go to bed.